I think it really drew us together as a couple too, especially when we're at events and people are like, "Hey, can I get you a beer?" It's not just me saying no. It's we're in this together.
We're
so
in it together.
It made me feel better that I had to say no, because it's like, no, it's right there with me. Episode 18?
Yes.
Yes. Look at us go. Just one at a time. We're getting through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
If you're watching on YouTube, maybe a little confused, Noah and I decided to switch spots just for fun. Yeah. I told him it'd be weird. He said it'd be fun. Here we are.
We didn't switch shirts, though. We talked about doing that.
That would be weird.
That would be weird.
No, I'm wearing my own shirt. He's wearing his own shirt.
Yep.
Although I wear a lot of his shirts.
Yeah. I don't wear a lot of her shirts.
No.
No.
I like it when you don't wear a shirt.
I know.
Just saying.
I realized that earlier today.
What is that supposed to mean?
Couldn't contain yourself.
Here you go. Here's my feet.
Thanks. They look
okay.
dirty.
This is the You, Me, Us Together podcast.
We're the Roots.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm Cambria, sitting in Noah's spot. That's Noah, sitting in Cambria's spot.
It's heckin' weird.
And what are we talking about today?
Our experience with our fasting that we did through February? No?
It was until Easter.
It was for Lent, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that? Like...
What?
Like what it was, how it came about, that kind of thing?
So most people have heard of Lent. You basically give up something until Easter. For just over 40 days, essentially. Yeah. You give up something that is going to be hard for you to give up, but it's for a purpose. It's to kind of center you on God and allow you to, like when you have a craving for that thing you gave up, then it reminds you to pray.
Yeah. Essentially.
So our pastor, we don't normally do Lent because it's a very traditional tradition.
It's not something I've ever done before.
Yeah. But our pastor was like, hey, I want to challenge you to fast from something it was during one of his sermons after when Lent had actually started for most people.
Yes, we started a little late, but...
Yeah, but it was a fun challenge for us. And it was funny because he mentioned that in his sermon, and then after church, I was like, well, I want to just drink water for this time. And Cambria was like, well, I want to quit sugar. And neither of us liked the other person's, so we just decided to do both.
Yeah, and I felt like right away you were like, yeah, I'll do sugar with you, and I was like, I don't do that. I have to do the water thing. And then after a couple days I said, I decided I need to do it with you to support you because you're supporting me in mine.
Yeah.
So
I guilted you into it.
We both did both.
We did. It was hard.
It was very hard.
It was
still drinking water though.
Yep, I'm not. I haven't had any water today. I should. Thank you. So, what was kind of the biggest thing that we took away from that? It was like 40 days, right?
Yeah. For me, some of the big things were... I know the point of it was when you start craving that thing that you're supposed to, like, refocus yourself on God, and I didn't really do that very often. I just was so focused on what I wanted. Like, I just can't have...
Yeah.
I can't have birthday cake, and we're celebrating so many birthdays. And so I think it kind of showed me how much more effort I need to put into my relationship with God. Because it doesn't just happen. It's not like I'm a Christian and he'll do all the work and I don't need to.
Yeah.
It's like any other relationship. It's two-sided. If we don't put in the work, we're not going to get as much out of it.
For sure.
So it kind of showed me that I need to put in more work.
Me too, I think, yeah.
Yeah, that, and then just that, it was really hard. And not super fun, but it made me feel like I can do hard things now. Like,
Yeah.
that's hard, that's okay, I can totally do it.
Yeah, that was a big part for me, is it made me realize that some things that I thought were such a pain didn't feel nearly as hard because we were doing something that was already really difficult.
Yeah. Do you have any examples of what things came up that were a pain that didn't seem as bad?
Well, simply like, we did way better at keeping the house clean.
Oh, yeah.
And keeping up with some chores than we normally do. Simply because it was like, well, if we just create habits like we have been with, only drinking water, right? If we create habits like that, it really is, things are much easier if we keep doing those. Now, since our thing, we've actually realized that we've kind of slacked off on some of that after our fast was over.
Oh, yeah.
There's like dishes, they just pile up, mostly because we've been crazy busy, but we just forget.
Yeah.
But it did make hard things feel easier.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Made me proud of myself.
Yeah.
Which I really liked.
For sure.
Because there's so many people are like, why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? And it's like, because I want to know that I can do something like this.
Yeah, it was, it made us realize how influential sugar, especially, and like, when people want to meet, they want to go out for coffee or go out for drinks or whatever, and it's like, well,
yeah,
I can meet with you, but I'm gonna bring my water.
Made me realize just how addicted I was to sugar, because when certain people did say, like, why would you do that? It's like, do you not think you could do that? Like, are you not willing to do that? Like, it made me feel like, what am I trying to say? I lost it.
It's okay.
I'm trying.
It's alright.
But it made me feel, like, realize how addicted I was when it's like, I wasn't eating sugar and I was feeling pretty good, and then other people would come up and be like, why would you do that? Or,
For sure.
I could never do that. And it's like, you should try sometime, because you don't realize that you're addicted to something until people tell you things like that when you're not doing it, you know?
It was almost kind of freeing.
Yeah.
If you will, yeah. Do we want to talk individually about the water thing and the sugar thing separately, and kind of how our experience was with each?
Sure. Let's start with sugar since we're already on it.
Yeah, let's do that. How
about you?
One of the big things for me with sugar was learning how many things have processed sugar in it.
Oh my gosh. Everything.
Right? Yeah, I mean, our grocery shopping changed so much in that time, because it's like, well, we can't have this because it has sugar in it, like added sugar, and this and this. We ate a lot more fruit, which we didn't go as extreme to say no natural sugar, because I think natural sugar is valuable for us still. But yeah, we ate like a lot more honey, and we got maple syrup, because it was like we wanted some sweetness, because we still had those like sweet cravings, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the big thing for me, realizing, wow, everything you see at the store has added sugar in it.
Yeah. There were some things that we just didn't avoid because we didn't realize that it had sugar until it was too late, kind of thing. An example is, we had dinner with some family and we had Mexican. I looked on the back of the tortilla package and it had added sugar in the tortillas.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, whoa, like, you don't think tortilla sugar. So I ate the tortilla, and then I looked and I was like, well, crap.
Yeah. Or like those seasoning packets that you can get, the little one serve thing.
Oh, yeah.
Those will have a little bit of sugar in them.
Everything. Like,
yeah.
It made me kind of realize how it's just like the American diet has you addicted to processed sugar.
Absolutely.
Because they put it in everything. Literally.
Literally.
It was insane. I was like, seriously, tortillas have sugar in them?
We were at someone's house and we had some applesauce.
Mm-hmm.
And it said no high fructose. Bleh.
Whoa, what are you going
No
for?
high fructose corn syrup on the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So we had some, and I looked at it, and it was like 3 grams of added sugar. Like, what?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, that applesauce too, that was towards the end when we ate it.
Yeah.
It tasted so sweet. I remember
It did.
saying, can we just like throw this in the freezer and then eat it as like ice cream? Because
how it felt.
it tasted like ice cream to me.
Yeah. It was crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah. The sugar specifically made me more sensitive to sweetness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like on Easter, the day that we could eat whatever we wanted again, we had a big family Easter dinner, and there were like 5 different desserts, and I had none of them.
Yeah.
Because I looked at them and went, I don't think I can do that. None of them really look good. Like, they looked good, but I took a spoon of vanilla ice cream, and that's why I decided to eat just 1 spoonful. And I took 1 lick, and I was like, whoop, that is too sweet, and I gave you all of it.
Yeah, our taste buds changed. For sure. I think it was more serious for you than for me. I don't know why. Yeah. I just don't feel nearly as affected by some of those things. I have a
sweet tooth.
For sure.
Yeah, you don't as much, but yeah, even since then, like, I've been eating desserts, and I can feel myself falling back into the addictive sugarness. Mm-hmm. And so I'm trying to find a balance, but I've noticed that I can't finish my desserts. The other day I had a bite of a brownie, and I was like, that was delicious, but that's enough. I'm good.
Yeah.
And last night we split a cupcake. The cupcake's not very big. Yeah. We split it. I ate half, and I was like, that was too much. Your turn. You can finish it.
Yeah, that's crazy. We made ribs last night with barbecue sauce on them, and we both were like, I am sweeted out from the barbecue sauce, because it was a new sauce that we were trying, and it was just like, oh, it was gosh.
It's like a maple something.
It was so
really
much.
Sweet. It was, it's kind of weird.
But yeah, it was crazy how our taste buds changed. I think it was really helpful for us as a couple to think about the marriage aspect of it.
Yeah, especially doing it together, not like you do your fast, I do my fast, and that's it. We're doing the same thing so we can support each other through it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was the biggest thing, right? Is we learned, like, it's the value of supporting each other in what we were wanting to do was just as valuable as the thing we were choosing to do for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Because it was that much harder.
Yeah.
And we got to work through it together, and we got to experience the cravings together, and
and encourage each other and support each other when it got tough.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it was tough like the whole time, but yeah, I did. I've talked to some people about the no sugar thing, and they say, oh yeah, after like, it's hard the first 3 days, and after that all the cravings are gone. And I didn't experience that. I had cravings the entire, like, 40 days.
Yeah.
But beginning was, like, anything sweet. And by halfway, most of my cravings were gone except for dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And that was all I wanted at the end of it. It's like, I don't really care about all the other sweets. I just want a bite of dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And so it taught me that apparently dark chocolate is one of my favorite sweet things. That was the only thing I was craving. And chocolate chip cookies are, like, my favorite dessert now, I've decided. Because of all the things I've re-eaten since then, that was the thing that, like, hit the spot the most.
Yeah.
So, in case you're wondering, I now am a huge dark chocolate fan and chocolate chip cookie fan.
That's super fun.
I liked them before, but now apparently they're my favorites.
Yeah. And we ate more fruit than we have in a long time, if ever.
Yeah.
We just ate so much because it was...
Mm-hmm.
It was that sweetness. It kind of helped us get through the cravings.
Yeah. I think also for me, during the whole fast was when I was playing indoor soccer.
Yeah.
And so I was exercising more, not eating sugar, and only drinking water. So, I mean, most drinks have sugar in them.
Yep.
And so a mix of all that, and the just drinking water made me drink more water.
Yeah.
all 3 of those combined, it made me feel so good.
Yeah.
I was feeling so much better that whole month or so that we did it.
Yeah, and we're really going to have to spend some time finding a balance, I think, of how do we still live life and do things with people. That was the biggest thing for me, right? Like during the whole indoor soccer thing, they have a restaurant at the place, and I would go up there and not be able to order a drink or anything, and everyone else would order a beer or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, I felt like I wasn't a part of what was going on.
Or when we were celebrating people's birthdays, they were all like, do you want a piece of cake? And we're like, no.
Sorry, no.
Like, it makes you feel left out.
Yeah, or makes you feel like almost like snooty or something, especially with the whole cake thing. It's like, no, sorry.
Yeah, I don't eat that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something where we discussed when we were doing it. We were like, this is something we kind of want to keep up, but we don't want to be so strict about it that like I was talking about, I want to be able to have a dessert on my birthday. I don't want it to be my birthday and be like, yeah, you can bring a cake for all of you to eat, but I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to still be able to enjoy that. And I like sweets. I love the taste of sweets. So it's finding that balance is something that we're going to have to work on because we haven't totally figured that out yet or even talked about it.
No,
we just really talked about we want to try to keep this up as much as we can, but
yeah, and I've done really poorly at that. Like I just said, I haven't had any water today.
Well, you've had a Coke and coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I've gone too far one way where it's like I just wasn't, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't been very disciplined since we've gotten back into it.
Yeah, I got to the point where I would drink almost 3 of my water bottles a day, and I think I'm at about 1 now.
Yeah.
Because I still drink the same amount, but it's other things. It's sugary drinks.
Right, it's a lemonade or a soda or a whatever, right? An Izzy.
I have not had any, like, soda since then, though. Like, I've had an Izzy, but not any Coke or anything like that, if that makes sense.
You had a little bit of wine the other day. We love wine. And
I really like drinking a fun drink while I'm cooking.
Right.
Maybe that helps with my my hangriness that we talked about last episode.
Yeah.
But like the other day, I decided to, instead of pouring myself a glass of wine, because I shouldn't be drinking alcohol every single night. But I also shouldn't be like drinking a Coke every single night either, because the amount of sugar in a Coke is insane too.
For sure.
So I'm trying to figure out like how I can have a fun drink without all the extra that I don't need. So I've been looking on Pinterest. I've been looking at mocktails a lot.
Yeah. See
what I can come up with.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
A little different.
Yeah, it gets my creative juices flowing. It's exciting.
For sure. Yeah. So
I think we've covered the sugar part pretty well.
Yeah, for sure.
What were you craving the most when you were off sugar?
I don't know. Like, at Easter, I tried all the things, the desserts, and they were all good.
There was pumpkin pie.
It was good.
That
was weird.
We had Thanksgiving dinner for Easter. There was
so much food.
Yeah, it was all the normal, like, mashed potatoes and gravy and yams and pumpkin pie, and I was like, wrong holiday, guys. What are y'all doing?
I don't know if there's something specifically that I was craving, but like we got those dark chocolate covered graham crackers for when we were done.
Sea salt on them from Trader Joe's.
Those were so good.
Yes.
I love chocolate, and so like it's like in my DNA.
I'm pretty proud of us though, because that bag wasn't very big, and we got it. When was Easter? A week and a half ago.
Yeah.
While we're recording this, 2 weeks ago, and the bag's still not gone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of us.
Mostly because I forgot it was there.
I've been only allowing myself, when I pull it out, I'll like pull 2 out and then sit the bag up, put it away, and then I can only eat those 2.
That is a good way to reduce over snacking.
Yeah.
You pull out an allotted amount, put the rest in the cabinet. So it's like, then I'm going to go back in and...
My mom used to portion control me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So especially goldfish or Cheez-Its, like I would over snack. I could eat those boxes of goldfish.
Yeah.
I eat one in a week by myself.
I know. When we
no
buy
problem.
them too, it's like we eat too much.
Yeah. And so she started buying me the individually packaged ones.
Oh, that's like torture compared to
I
a
know,
box.
and I was like, why would I even eat these? Like, there's no point.
Yeah.
Because once I finish them, all I want is more.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's like, you need portion control. And then I tell everyone that at school, and they were like, does your mom think you're fat? You know, why do you need portion control? But I know she was just trying to love me now that I look back on it, but I was frustrated because all I wanted to eat was goldfish.
Yeah.
Anyway, water. How was the water thing for you? That
water
was harder
hard for me.
for you than it was for me.
Yeah, and water was my choice too.
The thing that I chose was harder for me, and the thing that you chose was harder for you.
Yeah, we wanted to be really intentional with what we chose to do.
Yeah. Can I go back to the sugar thing really quick? I did notice, because I struggle with my skin and acne, I did notice that it did get a little better.
Yeah.
It didn't totally get rid of it, but I had...
less.
My skin still looks really bad because there's so much scarring, but I didn't have very many active blemishes during that, so that was a plus too.
Yeah.
And that was part of why I wanted to do sugar, because I've heard that it can help your skin, and I thought this is the perfect time to try it.
Yeah.
So it did help a little bit.
That's good.
I wanted to add that point in.
Yeah, I could tell a difference for sure.
Yeah. One side, you guys are all seeing the other side of my face now, because you normally see this side. This side has way more scarring than the other side, I think. Like deeper, darker scars, but I don't know how to get rid of that. I gotta get rid of all the active ones before I can focus on the scarring. Yeah. So I think it should help a lot.
Good. Yeah.
Anyway,
so
the drinks was hard for you.
Drinks was hard. I have my morning coffee routine. I make French press or pour over, so like it's a process, and I miss that for sure.
Yeah, you missed the routine and the process of making the coffee more than drinking the coffee, it seemed like.
Yeah, for sure.
We had a friend come over during this, and he was like, do you have any coffee I can drink? And Noah just got so excited because he could do his coffee routine, and they felt bad because they were like, oh, they can't drink the coffee and they're going to smell the coffee. And it smelled good, but it just, you were so happy to get your routine and you were so excited.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was so...
I had to like dust off all my stuff. It was so
I know.
sad.
I had to put all my tea away so I couldn't see it.
Yeah, we didn't even do tea, which was crazy.
Yeah, that's why originally I had said just sugar, because that knocks out most drinks anyway.
Yeah.
And so that's why I thought I don't need to do water with him, because I've knocked down most drinks anyway, and I really like tea, and I drink my tea just the tea bag. I don't put anything else like cream, sugar, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I decided to be supportive and get rid of my tea for you. So, but I had to hide it because I looked at it every day, and it just made me sad.
Yeah.
I even put away the kettle that sits on the stove, so I was like, there's no point in keeping this out.
Yep. Yeah, water was hard. Coffee definitely in the morning. I did notice some effect of no caffeine.
That's what I was going to ask
early
you.
on. I did. What was weird though is I felt, as time went on, it was probably only the first week that I felt some effects from it. As time went on, I actually felt like, man, I feel good. I feel energized, and I'm not relying on anything else. I'm not relying on sugar or caffeine or anything, which was awesome. I really enjoyed that. My first cup of coffee afterwards, I was like so jittery. It was crazy.
Yeah, my first chocolate chip afterwards, I was jittery.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Which we'll get to that, I think.
So it was coffee for sure. Like I mentioned, the restaurant, having a beer with some guys was like, oh, this is kind of a drag.
Yeah, you missed beer.
Yeah. Yeah, that was about it. Did we finish? Oh, like the last 2 weeks of The Bachelor. We watched the season of The Bachelor. We normally would drink wine
And
while
watch
we
it with
watched
your
The
grandma.
Bachelor. Yeah.
We go to his grandma's house, drink wine with her, and watch The Bachelor.
Yeah. But this started, like...
We were like halfway through or towards the end.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks I think we didn't have... We just had water, and it was like sad.
Yeah.
But
I really like wine. It has changed
like
my
wine.
taste buds for wine because I used to only like sweet wine.
Yeah.
And since coming off of the no sugar thing, I've decided to try other wines that aren't sweet, and I really like them actually.
you're enjoying them more.
I don't know
for
what
sure.
they are. I need to do like a wine class.
Like learn what the names are.
I don't know what the names are, what they even mean.
Yeah.
But
Those were the big things, I think. It didn't bother me that much to not have a soda during the day. Because honestly,
yeah.
even still, I could go without. Because most of the time, I'll have some coffee, and we have late mornings, right? And so I'll drink coffee till almost noon most of the time. And then switch to water, and like we're eating lunch at 1 or 12:30. It's like I shouldn't have a soda right now because it's too much.
Yeah.
Right, today I got a Coke because John picked up lunch for us, and I really should have gotten like a lemonade or something. But
My lemonade felt like too much.
did it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the ones that you get out of the dispensers. They're not really good lemonade. They're
No.
cheap lemonade, and it's mostly sugar. It's just like this doesn't even taste lemony,
Yeah.
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 But so caffeine really affected you. What about lack of alcohol?
I may have felt a little more clear-minded. It was more about the social aspect for me than anything.
Yeah.
Because we had a handful of events that we did, and it was just like, I got my water,
Yeah.
and you just feel like you're not a part.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And it helped me realize a little bit that I sometimes rely on that to be a little more loose, and a lot of people do. It's like they don't want to get trashed, but they just want to feel a little more loose and free.
Yeah.
And I definitely felt that, where it was like, I just feel stiff a little bit,
Mhm.
So there was some of that,
Yeah.
but it was fine. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Alcohol didn't seem like a big deal to me.
Yeah.
I love wine. I love beer. Never thought I'd say that, but a lot of people are a wine or a beer person. I love both.
Yeah.
Um,
I've influenced you.
yeah. I really like both, but I didn't, it's not something I missed
Yeah,
it being gone.
for
And
sure.
it's like, yeah, I do really like that, but I don't need it, and it wasn't hard for me to stop it, which I know alcohol can be so addictive, and so it made me feel good that it wasn't something I was relying on.
Wasn't
Like
a
I
big
didn't
deal.
realize that I was relying on, that was pretty easy for me.
Yeah, and it's funny going back at, looking back on it, because it really is like we chose the right things for
Yeah.
ourselves, because like the whole water thing wasn't nearly as hard for you as it was for me.
No, I mean the tea thing was kind of hard,
Yeah.
which we did supplement
Yeah, we did.
because
This was later on in
It
the...
was a little later on, but it was just so cold outside.
Yeah, it was freezing.
And in order to warm up, you drink a hot drink a lot of times, because it warms up your insides, and
Yeah.
it really works. And we were like, but we can't drink anything other than water, and just hot water sounds so boring. So we did hot water with honey and lemon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we would drink to warm ourselves up. And
We only did it a couple of times.
it tasted so good, though.
It was super good.
It's so sweet. It was so good, but it was so disappointing looking in your mug.
It just
because-
looks like water.
Yeah, because it just looks like water, and it's like, that's disappointing.
Yeah,
Because
that's
usually you
super
have like
funny.
a dark color in your mug, and it was like, am I literally just still drinking just like hot water? Like, how ridiculous is that? But it tasted delicious. And it warmed me up.
It was good.
Yes.
Super good.
Did you have any slip-ups? I did.
I don't think I did.
Except for that applesauce.
I know.
And the tortilla.
Like, I took a bite of the applesauce and it was like, there's something wrong.
Yeah. You have to, like, go out of your way to get unsweetened applesauce.
Yeah. Not just no high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Seems like I may have done something, but I don't. Oh, I was like, they made brownies maybe or something at one of the events we were at, one of the dinners.
Okay.
And I was putting something like the bowl or something away, and I got some on my finger. And I literally almost had it to my mouth to lick my finger off, and I was like, nope, can't do it.
I know. I think I did something like that too, and I almost cried having to wash it off my fingers because it felt like such a waste.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That was my only thing, I think.
I slipped up with the drinks once.
It was so funny.
And you caught it, and I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it was super funny.
And it wasn't like I purposely drank something else.
Yeah.
We just a little bit left in our milk carton. I bought a new one. We can't fit 2 in our fridge because our fridge isn't big enough.
Yep.
And so I pulled the old one out. I drank the last few drops and put the new one in.
And as few drops, it was like you were drinking it for probably a minute.
Well, but it wasn't. It wasn't
very
that much. It was like would fill half a glass or something.
But I was like sitting there clearing out old bad food from the fridge, and I looked up at you, and you're just drinking out of the milk jug, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "I'm just finishing the milk.
Yeah.
You can't fit it."
He kept saying that over and over, and he wouldn't tell me
Or
what
I was like,
he was getting at.
"You're drinking milk."
Yeah, that's
and you're
what he
like,
said.
"Yeah, I'm drinking milk."
I'm like,
"Yeah, you're drinking milk."
I'm like, yeah, what else would this be? I did not get... I was like, stop saying the same phrase over and over. It seems like you're getting to something and you're not using the words.
This is so funny.
Tell me what you mean. But I don't think you did tell me. I think it was a little bit later. I was like, oh no, I drank milk.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah. So it was for a good cause.
Yeah, we don't want to be wasteful here, okay?
Yeah, you don't want to waste the milk. So I just drank the little bit left so the new one could go in the fridge. And yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Super funny.
But
it
taught us that Jesus loves us even though we make mistakes.
That's right. Something that it really prompted this whole fasting experience, sugar and water, was just being more thoughtful about what we were eating. Like we made our own yogurt, and we bought local honey. That was afterwards, but it prompted us to do that.
We finished our honey so we could buy local honey.
Yeah.
Which our honey, we didn't eat very much honey before, and it was so hard.
It was crystallized.
And I kept putting it in the microwave, which I know you're not supposed to do, but it's like, how else am I supposed to warm this up? And I totally melted the bear's face off. You know, the honey comes in a bear container, and his face was drooping, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I know it's like, I don't know how to get it soft, but I really shouldn't be eating reheated plastic.
Yeah. So the honey we have now is like the nicest honey you can get.
It was a little pricey, but
it's pretty expensive. But it came in a mason jar, and it's like from Colorado, so that it'll hopefully help with my allergies this year.
Yeah, that's our hope, that because it's local honey and the bees
pollinate on local flowers,
that it'll help your allergies, because you get bad allergies.
Yeah.
It's an experiment.
Yeah, we'll see. If nothing else, it's good. It's good quality.
I didn't used to love the taste of honey because I was so used to sugar,
refined
and
sugar.
Now it's like, oh, honey is really good.
It's super good.
So.
So we were just a lot more intentional with the things we chose to eat.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wanted to get to.
Yeah. I think it really drew us together as a couple too.
It did.
Like, especially when we're at events and people are like, hey, can I get you a beer? And it's like, it's not just me saying no, it's we're in this together. It made me feel better that I had to say no, because it's like, no, this is right there with me.
Yeah, and it made it easier too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was a good bonding experience.
It was. We should try to do that every year, maybe.
Maybe so.
Am I speaking too soon?
Yeah, no, we could do it. I don't know. I would almost do it not during Lent because I feel like that's a silly thing to have to do.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a good excuse to do it, though.
Yeah.
And it's like...
I just don't like being traditional.
I know you don't. But I was really proud of us and how well we did with our fast, because a lot of people that we talked to that also tried to do a fast were like, yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, I slipped up this one time and I just stopped. I was like,
yeah,
oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry. Like, we were almost like, I'm sorry for you. That's a drag.
I know I talked to someone, she did social media fasts, and she was like, it didn't go very great, but she said her 9-year-old son decided to fast from Minecraft, just like his favorite thing, and he made it the whole way.
Yeah.
I was like, if this 9-year-old can do no Minecraft for 40 days, I can do anything.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool. I was so happy for him.
For some people, it's just, that conviction is just there. It's just kind of in them, or it's like, yeah, I said I'm not going to do it.
And both of us are very, like, competitive people, and, like, like, if we're going to be challenged to fast for 40 days, we are going to do it. It's not going to be I'll do it as long as I feel like it, or... Absolutely. That's just how we are. So, we took it very seriously.
Something else is we've been working really hard to follow through with what we say.
Yeah.
Because there was a time where we were struggling a lot with, we commit to things and it's like, oh man, a lot of times it was, I don't actually have the time to do this thing that I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so that was it was helpful to say, we need to follow through on this. We need to really do it.
And I think it was really helpful just having to think about what's something that I really do struggle with. And can I give it up? Because I also talked to some people where I was like, what are you going to fast from? And they're like, I don't know. I don't really want to give anything up. Or they're like, well, I haven't really been eating much sugar the past few months, so maybe I'll just keep doing that. And it's kind of like, that's not the point.
Yeah, the point is to do something difficult.
The point is the extreme.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. We're just extreme in our things that we choose to do. But yeah, I think...
In my head, the point is the extreme. Like, a fast is... You do it for a reason. It's not I guess I'll just give up this one easy thing because then I can say I participated. It's like... It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. This is about you.
Yep.
And how is it going to affect you and your relationship with God? Yep. If you're doing it just because you want to fit in, then you're not doing it for the right reasons, and you don't need to be doing it at all.
I agree.
And so...
you sound like me.
Well, I'm influenced by you greatly.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm proud of you, and it makes me kind of want to do it again. Like, what can we choose to give up next?
We could.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. Not giving up you, that's for sure.
Yep. So, we just wanted to share our experience a little bit with everyone.
I know this wasn't a super marriage-based podcast, but if you're looking for a challenge for your marriage, do fast together, because it really does draw you closer together.
Yeah, for sure. And choose 2 things like that, because more than likely you both don't have the same thing that you struggle with.
Yeah, I was going to say, or you can, I'm sure there's some things that you both struggle with.
Yeah.
But something, like, you need to agree on something that you both really struggle with, not, I know you really struggle with this.
So
I kind of struggle, but not really, but I'll do it with you. That's kind of a cop-out for the person that it's not as hard for, because they seem like they're doing this really hard thing, but really it's like, yeah, I'll do this with you only because I know it's going to be easier for me. Like, that's not really fully loving them and supporting them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And loving and supporting yourself, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of times we get stuck in this, like, people don't realize that they can do really hard things because they won't let themselves do really hard things.
Yeah, and us as Americans have, well, a lot of people have really easy lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you're only doing something because you feel like I can totally do it because it'll be easy for me, like, try to challenge yourself. You'll feel so good about yourself.
It'll be more difficult, but the reward is so worth it.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Because I know so many people who aren't even willing to try to do hard things just because they're hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's nice to know, like, I can do hard things. I've done it before.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm just a stronger, better person because of it. So.
Absolutely.
And that means if I'm being a better person, growing myself, being a better person, then I can be a better wife to you. And
you're a pretty good wife.
Thank you. And I try to do my best to continue to be better.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because I love you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I know. Okay.
Ready to be done?
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
I have nothing else.
Okay. I actually don't have anything else. I feel like I just kept...
I know, you keep going. It's okay.
All right. I think I'm actually done.
All right. I'll see you guys next time.